Our next coach this morning is the head coach of the Monmouth Hawks, Coach Kevin Callahan. Good morning, Coach.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Doing fine. Congratulations on the season opening win, 52-21 over Delaware State. You moved to 1-0, and now you have an open date so early in the season. So if you can open up, talk about the victory, and I know you got off to a rough start, falling behind early, but then capitalizing on momentum and taking the victory, and then what the plans are with the early open date, if it's going to be different than a typical open date.
Well, thank you, Mark. We did get off to a little bit of a rough start. The opening, Delaware State returned the opening kickoff for a touchdown, and certainly not the way you want to start a season. But to the credit of the guys on our team, they didn't panic. They got down to business. We worked our way back in it, took the lead at the half, and then really played a very solid second half and finished the game. I was very pleased with the way our offensive line played. 4 of the 5 starters there were making their first collegiate start and seeing their first collegiate action, and I was very happy with the way that they played and the way they handled themselves. We had pretty good tempo on offense. We ran 97 plays on the day and had pretty good productivity. Our running back, who was recognized by the Big South as the Offensive Player of the Week, had a very, very good day, rushed for 155 yards in just about 3 quarters, so really did a fine job there, and I was pleased with the play of our quarterback, Brandon Hill. Was very efficient on the day, 23 of 36, 2 touchdown passes. So, there's a lot of things we have to work on. Just like any team, when you go out and you play your first ball game, you realize, the things that you're doing okay, but you also realize where you need to improve and where you need to get better. And we certainly have some areas where we need to clean things up and perform at a more efficient rate. As far as the open week goes, it is a little bit unusual having a bye in week 2, but I think really it comes at a pretty good time this year. We're a fairly young team. We're playing a lot of first-time starters. And this week is going to give us an opportunity to go back and really focus as coaches on what it is we want to accomplish and make sure that we're practicing the things to do what we want. There's a lot of technique and individual things we need to clean up and we need to do better, and that's what the focus of our this week of practice is going to be.
Thank you, Coach. At this time, we'll take questions for Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan. To ask a question, please press *1 on your phone at any time. Click the Q&A link near the top of your browser. Click raise hand. You can join us via the web. Question for Monmouth head coach Kevin Callahan. And Coach, first question for you is from Josh Newman of the Asbury Park Press.
Okay.
Hey, Cal, how are you?
Good, Josh. Good.
You and Brandon both seem to agree that this is a good time for a bye right now. Is there something to be said from the fact that maybe it's not a great time for it, just from the standpoint of you guys played so well in the second half, especially on offense? Maybe you don't want to lose that momentum that you guys gained.
Well, Josh, that always is a concern, and I feel that way as well. I thought we finished the game with a lot of positive momentum, a lot of positive energy, and I certainly don't want to lose that. But we're taking the approach with our team that this is a teaching week, that this is an opportunity that you rarely get to look at the things that you need to do a better job at, and you can really focus in on those things specifically. We've got to keep the big picture in mind. We've got a game coming up against Wagner in 2 weeks, but there's a lot that we need to do in order to make sure that we're prepared for that game, and we're going to take advantage of this bye week to prepare for those things.
Josh, you have anything further? Josh Newman, anything further for Coach?
I'll just go one more if you don't mind.
Go right ahead.
Going back to, playing well in the second half, obviously, the offense kind of debuted very well. How important is it during this bye week just to make sure that the kids are staying, even keeled and aren't getting too excited over just one game?
Well, that's very important, Josh. And as I tell our guys, you're never as good as you think, and you're never as bad as you think. And after looking at the video on Sunday, I mean, I think our guys understand there's a lot of things we need to do a better job of. There's a lot of things that we can do to help us play a more complete and a cleaner football game. We had too many penalties, and for my liking, and that's something that we've got to cut down on. We had some assignment breakdowns, which young guys will make, or they will have at times, but we've got to do a better job as coaches of making sure that we're correcting those things.
Thank you, Cal.
Thank you, Josh. Coach, I got a couple questions for you, too, as well. KB Asante, our Offensive Player of the Week, 4 touchdowns, 3 rushing. Let's talk a little bit about what his running style is like and what we can, as we learn about the Hawks and some of your players, just things that we'll typically see from your guys.
Well, KB he's a very durable, very strong running back. He's the type of back that gets stronger the deeper into the game he goes, and usually in the fourth quarter he's stronger than he was at the beginning of the game, and he's the type of back that can just wear defenses down. He's a guy that we know he can handle 25 to 30 carries a game, and it's not going to have an adverse effect on him. He's a guy that is going to be difficult to tackle, and he's always getting positive yardage after contact. So he's a guy you want on your side, especially when you're playing with the lead, because he's a guy we know that we can give the ball to, and he's going to get positive yards for us. The great thing is that we have another back in Levon Chaney, who had 20 carries as well on Saturday for 127 yards, and I think the combination of both Levon and KB, they kept each other fresh, and we had good fresh legs back there at the running back position.
Sure did. It was a nice effort from your backs, over 300 yards total rushing as well. And your special teams player of the week, Lucas Santangelo, first time place kicking after 2 years handling kickoffs. Let's talk about his progress.
Well, I'm very happy with the development of Lucas. As you said, he hasn't handled our place kicking the last couple of years. We had our all-time kicker, Eric Spillane, who graduated in May, and it's the first time that Lucas had to go out and handle all the place kicks, and I thought he did an exceptional job. He did miss 1 field goal early in the game, but then he came right back and hit 3 more of them. So I was very happy with what he's done, and he also did a good job on our kickoffs.
All right, thank you, Coach. Well, that's all the questions that we have for you that have come in. We appreciate you joining us. Enjoy the open date, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thank you very much, Mark. I appreciate it.
All right, Coach, thank you.